Okay, it may have not got nominated for any Oscars, but Saltburn was probably one of the most talked about crazy films that came out at the end of last year. Like, I don't know. Saltburn is a 2023 black comedy psychological drama film that's written, directed and produced by Emerald Fennell, starring Barry Keoghan, Jacob Elordi and Rosamund Pike. It's set in England back in 2006, following the lives of an Oxford University student, Oliver, played by Barry, and Felix, played by Jacob, who is the socialite, versus Oliver, who was more of a scholar. And the film had its premiere back in August 2023 before getting released in the UK and the US in November, and then Amazon Prime released it just a couple of days before Christmas. After being accepted into Oxford, Oliver Quick is struggling to fit in as a scholar student, finding himself at a loss when trying to get accepted by the rich counterparts that he finds himself spending a lot of his time with in between classes and socialising. But after assisting Felix, one of his wealthier classmates, Oliver finds himself getting accepted into Felix's life and in alongside his rich, affluent friends. Following a personal tragedy, Oliver is invited by Felix to spend the summer at his home called Saltburn. Over the course of the next 3 months, we come across Oliver experiencing many highs, a couple of lows, and experiences that will definitely last a lifetime, and consequences that stretch further and wider than anyone could possibly have ever imagined. The film is stunning and has some amazing visuals that are quite haunting and easy to remember, while also being so aesthetically pleasing that you can't look away, no matter sometimes you may have the desire to do so. One of the first things that gets noticed in the film is the aspect ratio that was used. Fennell filmed on a 1.33 to 1 aspect ratio, which was used by her and her cinematographer with the idea that it would make the viewer feel like they're kind of peeping into the lives of these rich people, similar to the way that Oliver himself was participating in that type of existence. Alongside this, there was also the decision that the cinematographer made to kind of film everything in more of a tactile, sensuous, erotic nature. And this can be seen through some of the up-close, personal shots that are taken where the audience is able to truly feel as if they know these people and on a personal level, as opposed to just being characters on a screen, and feeling like they're personal memories instead of just a story being told. Some of this can be seen when you've Venetia enjoying her time on a pontoon at the water, or just even the shots of Oliver sunbathing. There are some questionable things that take place where some of their more erotic scenes that obviously are not a memory, and they do happen on screen, and you maybe wish you didn't see them to begin with, but yeah, that's all part of haunting visuals. But through the use of the more intimate shots, we're able to appreciate what it is that we're seeing and feel a distinction between a film, a memory, and our lives, and the way in which that's all kind of culminates together is something so special, because it's not easy to do. The biggest thing for the film is it obviously takes place in 2006, but the only way that really is known is through some of the music that we hear, or there is a point where you see Jacob Elordi's character reading Harry Potter, and that is really the only indication as to where we are in time. If you said the film was in the 90s, I'd probably believe you, but the way in which it kind of is done, it just created a sense of more intrigue. Perhaps some of the story wouldn't have worked if it was modern times, and then other parts of it maybe wouldn't work if it was further back. So maybe they picked just a perfect era for that. The best part of having good visuals is there are times where you have to have an internal conflict with yourself as to what your favourite scene to look at was. And mine had to be, there was a long scene after Oliver's birthday, and it's just a long shot where you've got the end of a party which took place over hours, so you've got like 3, 4, 5 a.m. and then you're going into dawn breaking into a next day, and just the way in which you see the darkness coming in to then fading away, with the main source of illumination being the lights, the fluorescent lights from the party, and we've got groups of reds and candlelight and those kinds of things, and you're trying to figure out which will overpower the darkness. And it's just the moments on your way after a good night out or a good party, and you're going to bed and you're appreciating the silence and the darkness that envelops you as you slowly walk away from the colours that have intoxicated you for the previous X amount of hours. Yeah, like, look, we all know the closing shot of the film. We've all seen different interviews about it. Barry was interviewed, Andrew Scott was recently interviewed with regard to it. It's only natural that these kind of things come up and they become talking points. There were a lot of scenes in the film that I joked with some of the people I was watching it with, you couldn't pay me enough to act out those types of scenes, and then it came out that Barry had done a lot of them off his own back, so not being compensated for them because they were just ideas or choices that he made. Kind of blew my mind, and just kind of shows you the dedication to his craft that he has, and is something that is really appreciative for the directors and cinematographers and things like that, because it just allows them to tell a more encapsulating story. And I hope he comes back for Matt Reeves' Batman now at this point, because I have no idea what this man will do with Joker, and I really hope that we get to see it and appreciate it.